That's recording. Recording through Zoom. You can probably start recording on your end as well. Sick. All right. So chapter 1, the introduction. So right now, this is your opportunity to brag. Can you talk about your experience about what you've done on and off the Roblox platform and kind of just give us a little bit of background about yourself?
Yeah, so I've been working in the games industry for 8 years. When I first started, I got my first job through a Minecraft server. I was friends with someone and we used to play on the same Minecraft server. They knew I was looking for work and they recommended this company called Multiplay, which is like a UK-based games events and hosting company. And I didn't really have any experience in that, but I thought I'd apply anyway. Based on his recommendation, I got a job in tech support. For about 6 months, I was rebooting kids' Minecraft servers and rolling out updates for games like DayZ. And that was definitely like a trial by fire for getting into the games industry. For not only was it my first games job, it was also my first job overall. And there were a lot of crazy moments in that job. Like on my first day, I was rolling out a patch to all of the official DayZ servers. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take the patch file and then use Linux commands to like copy it over and then send it out. But I did a typo, and instead of copying the file, I copied a blank file. So I replaced all official live DayZ servers with just a blank 0 kilobyte text file.
No way.
And like took DayZ offline. But thankfully my boss wasn't mad. He was like, yeah, we've all made mistakes. So at that job, I switched to community management, social media, community engagement, content, marketing, that kind of stuff. And then after about 3 years, I was still in touch with a friend of mine who worked at Hypixel, and they were looking for someone to come and do community management, social media type stuff for them. I thought it was a great opportunity, so I decided to go for it. Although there was a 6-month break because on the day I decided to hand in my notice, me leaving my first job, it was a very like emotionally charged moment for me. I had written this letter, had it in my coat pocket. I came into work, and on the way into work, I had an email that said there was an all-hands meeting. When I walked in, everyone was stood around the CEO in the corner of the office. I walked over and joined them, and the CEO announced that the company had just been acquired by a huge retail chain for millions of dollars. That was like a shock. I went to hand in my notice with my manager, and she was like, "Don't leave." Stay. From what she was like, how much, like, what are they offering you? I was like, oh, they're offering me this much more money. She was like, I'll pay you that much money just to stay for an extra 6 months. So yeah, I stayed for an extra 6 months, and then I just decided it wasn't really working out for me. I joined the Hypixel team. Obviously Hypixel Minecraft server is still the most popular Minecraft server. I'm sure a lot of viewers have played games on it or on similar servers. So yeah, I worked there for 3 years. I started off in marketing and content, but over time I started doing more design and production tasks, and then in the end I ended up co-leading the Hypixel team, which was about 30 people at the time. I was involved in games like Bed Wars, We Ship, Murder Mystery, which a lot of people pointed out is basically just a blatant rip-off of Murder Mystery Roblox. I was heavily inspired by Murder Mystery on Roblox, although we did add a lot of like additional twists and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so I stayed there for 3 years. Obviously, I knew about Hytale, the standalone game that the Hypixel team were working on. That was all really exciting, but after 3 years of working on Minecraft, I just started getting a little bit frustrated. There's a lot you can do with Minecraft, but there's also a lot you can't do. With Minecraft Java servers, you can't add new models, you can't fundamentally change the mechanics. And I felt like after 3 years, I'd really pushed Minecraft to its limits, and I was just running out of ideas and feeling a little down overall. I started exploring on Roblox, which I'd already been researching. I'd played it when I was a kid, like 10 years ago, but I wasn't part of the community or anything. And then over time, I realized that I was enjoying my Roblox side project more than I was my day job working on Minecraft. I mean, I love the team and all of the work that they did is great and is still great. I mean, it's still huge. I had a bit of money saved up in the bank, so I decided, you know, screw it. Let's take like a year off, try out this Roblox thing and see what happens. At the time, I kind of naively thought like, hey, if these teenagers are making these top Roblox games and making millions of dollars, then like how hard can it be? Turns out it's a lot harder than you'd expect. So yeah, I worked with a friend of mine on a Roblox project called Heartlight, which wasn't really successful. I ended up learning a ton about the platform and meeting a loads of people, learning how to program in Roblox Lua was different. Yeah, after about 8 months of doing that, we knew it wasn't working out, so I was deciding what to do with my life. I applied to a few jobs and had a few interviews. Like I interviewed at Superhot, the studio that makes the game Superhot.
Yeah.
For a week, I thought I was going to move to Poland and do all of the social media and comms on Superhot. But at the same time, I happened to meet Newfissy, one of the co-founders of Adopt Me. We just happened to be in the same Discord server. The Pets update had just released, like the big record-breaking update. Yeah, I just got chatting with Newfissy, and he seemed like a good person, and they had this game that was blowing up. I was just like, oh, I'm actually looking for work. And he was like, oh, we're looking for people, but we're really looking for programmers. I was like, I can program. Yeah, I joined the Adopt Me team as a programmer, although obviously my background in Hypixel was like very relevant, and we talked about it a lot. Yeah, so I joined in June of last year. When I joined, there were 4 people. Now I've just made an offer to our 32nd person.
From your perspective, what makes Adopt Me such a well-received and consistently popular game? What keeps the players coming back?
Adopt Me is primarily a social game. I think a lot of people who don't play it might think of it as like an adoption or a roleplay game, and those elements are definitely strong in the game. But primarily, it's a social space where you can hang out, you can collect pets, meet with your friends, you can trade items. It's kind of just like a platform for socializing. Also, the pets are really cute. Yeah. So,
yeah,
if you like collecting cute pets, our 3D model it and our animator does an amazing job of bringing those pets to life.
So what would you consider your biggest accomplishment on or off the Roblox platform to this date?
To be able to wake up in the morning and actually look forward to your workday is a joy. To work with a team of people that you genuinely get along with is a joy. I'm sure the people out here like myself, who've worked jobs where, you're just doing it for money or you don't get along with the people you work with, it can be depressing and dissatisfying. So yeah, if possible in life, try and find a group of people you get along with to work with. If you can pay the bills doing that, that's the best case scenario, I think.
So I have no doubt that you have run into your share of roadblocks and challenges, especially recently. Could you talk to me about some of those challenges you faced as a person, as a creator, and just as a team member of Adopt Me?
So one of the challenges we faced is scaling. Adopt Me obviously has these huge numbers, but to get there we had to put in a lot of work and we hit a lot of barriers. When we hit 1.6 million, which was a wild number, just the Roblox servers ended up going completely offline. Thankfully, we have a really close relationship with Roblox, and we were able to give feedback and stuff. That number might have gone even higher if we didn't have infrastructure issues. The scale of Adopt Me makes everything we do harder, because anytime we want to do an update, we have to think about how the elements of that update will impact many millions of people. We had 54 million monthly active users in the last 30 days. So we have to just be dead careful when we make a change. One bug, one bad change is just exponentially worse when you have a scale issue, especially with data. Yeah, another issue we face is scaling the team. Roblox is quite a niche space. We have fairly high standards for code quality. Yeah, I feel like we've hired a lot of the great programmers in the Roblox space that aren't working on their own games, which is awesome. I get to work with a bunch of really awesome people who've been in the community for ages. Yeah, our bottleneck at the moment is definitely engineering, programming.
Let's talk about Adopt Me as a team. What's a big notable challenge Adopt Me as a team has faced, and how did you guys work through that?
So we're currently in the process of restructuring our production. We used to do weekly updates, so every Friday we would release an update, and it was just a nightmare. I've never worked at a company that does weekly update, especially not on a Friday. Every week you're committing every single week to have a release ready, and if that release isn't ready, that means inevitably you either have to delay it, which is bad, or you have to crunch, which is bad. And I see this in other developers too. I spoke to too many Roblox developers who talk about crunching really hard, overworking, and then burning out, having to take time off. Players, you've seen it as well in some of your favorite games. Your devs just work so hard to get you that content, to get these updates out, and then they just burn themselves out and have to take months off sometimes, and that could be a long and hard recovery. So we made the decision to move away from a weekly update schedule and to just release updates when they're done. Maybe it takes 2 weeks, maybe it takes 3 weeks. And so that's been difficult because we used to have an update every week. Now we have an update only every couple weeks maybe, but that's because we're in the process of restructuring the way we produce game, internally. We're changing the way we do teams, we're changing the way we collaborate and work together, and so far it's been really good internally, but obviously there's been a little bit of disappointment externally. But I think in the long run it's going to be a lot better, because when the team's fully up and running, we'll be able to ship all these updates whenever they're ready, without hurting the people making them. No Roblox game update is worth a person damaging their physical or mental health.
So what's something that you wish you would have known before jumping into all that you've done now?
The people you work with are more important than the thing you work on. When I was younger, I thought I wanted to work on all of my favorite games, you know, the games that I loved growing up. And now that I'm older and I've been in the industry a minute and I've spoken to people, I realize that most of the studios making those games have like deep issues and are not good places to work. I think when you're young, you're kind of fascinated with these things and you're like, oh, I would love to work on that. I would love to work on this game. I would love to make a game like that. And I'm not even that old. Now more than ever, I realized I'd rather work with people that I actually connect with and get along with, like a good group of people, on something that I didn't like, than work with a group of people I hate on something that I love.
What advice do you have for the audience watching right now?
Developers often don't really talk much about the work of development. They might be on Twitter or on YouTube or something, but it's rare that they're telling you like what development is like. And the truth is that development is hard. Like, we have 30 plus people and we still have problems and struggles. I think when you're playing a game or when you're waiting for an update or when you're tweeting at your favorite developer, you should just keep in mind that behind the scenes, they're probably working really hard on their game, on their project. You should just keep in mind that like maybe they've had a really stressful work day, maybe they have other personal issues going on. And this extends beyond just Roblox developers too. Like, anyone in your life, when you're reaching out to them, you should be thinking about like, you're not really seeing the whole picture. You're not seeing the struggle and the crunch and the hard work and the sleepless nights and the work that went into making the things that you enjoy. So yeah, I would just try and be mindful of that.
So what's your personal mission as a creator on Roblox, off Roblox? What's something you'd like to achieve that you haven't yet?
Well, all of my personal ambitions are kind of tied up in Adopt Me. Not being like a Roblox person myself, it's funny because like people on the team who have been Roblox people for 10 plus years will get really excited about things that I don't really understand. Like a cosmetic item, you know, or you know, a certain person in the community. I'm like, I don't know who that is, but I'm excited that you're excited. But what I really want to do, and what I really want us to do, is at the moment we're in the process of building out this game studio, and what I would really like is for the Adopt Me studio to be one of the best new studios of the 2020s. That would bring me deep satisfaction to be able to build somewhere that all different types of people can work without all of the other issues, without all of the other problems. To build a studio that just empowers talented people to do their best work without any of the other problems. That would bring me immense joy. And I think we're doing okay, and I think we're going to get there.